Forgetting name.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Hopefully all this works out. It's
Yeah.
Nice little setup. Nice little spread we got. Nice little spread.
It's that good.
Talking about perks.
I don't know.
That looks like it's pointing down too far though, doesn't it? I don't know. It looks good from the other side.
Oh, there?
Well, I like that we've got the chip bowl in there.
Yeah, you had to have the chip bowl.
Oh, it's on wide angle. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's say another episode of the Boogie podcast. Little video version, but we'll use the audio somewhere else. This guy doesn't need much of an introduction. I'll give him a cheers to Dave Winchester.
Thanks, mate.
Good to see you,
Josh,
mate.
you too. Really good.
Do you just put your beer down after a cheers?
No, I had a sip.
Did you have a
Here,
sip?
You can watch it. I think I had a sip. We'll test it. That'd be so rude.
You know who's really bad for that is Wingers, Davis Blackwell.
He's bad for a lot of things, isn't he? You set him up there.
He was cheersing in Chile and just putting his drink down.
Really?
And we're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's not cool.
I'd say he's just had a few too many.
Nah, this was early.
Really?
Yeah, this was a habit.
All right.
This next generation they don't understand everything like we did.
I know.
We were smarter back then.
And do you feel like just when you get a little bit older, you say that to the young kids? Like our parents said that to us.
Yeah.
I did it way harder.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's a bad move.
It's hard not to. I don't know if we've been conditioned to say it, but it's totally true.
Yeah.
The wingers, you're soft, mate.
Yeah, but they've got it a bit harder than us with the sport.
They definitely do. I totally agree they do, because those three amigos absolutely tear,
They do.
and they should be getting more.
You reckon? Do you think they tear more than the our collective generation, or are they just on the same level?
It's hard to kind of say. I think that like the generation when we came through, there was a lot of good guys pushing limits that hadn't been reached before.
And
so now these guys are reaching limits that have been reached, but it's pretty incredible. But they're not hit, like not everyone's hit those limits. Like the stuff in the movie that they did at the right was just like unbelievable.
That was nuts.
And the airs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, they're definitely the three best dudes.
Yeah, I think about it a bit with being back on the world tour and like none of you guys being there, and because I had the experience of competing against all you guys and kind of knowing what that was like. Plus the other guys ahead of us as well. Like I kind of put, like I was in your generation in many ways. Like how old are you now?
37.
Yeah, so like I'm 35. So we were in the same generation, but I don't know, maybe do you see yourself as being part of the same generation as Ben Player and Kingy and Hardy?
No, I felt like I was Ben's 3 years older, Hardy's 2 years older. I was the generation under.
Okay, so you're the older part of my generation.
Yeah.
Because I'm 2
kind
years
of
below
Virtue,
you.
Mitch kind of
Yeah,
generation.
exactly.
I was
Hughesy,
more so-
Chad.
Yeah, more so in that generation.
Yeah, that's how I
feel
see myself.
anyway.
Yeah, and like for a period there was like John Scholl as well, and like the Scholl boys out of Cronulla, and a few other young fellas that kind of cruised along. But did you I've thought about this with the world tour, like what is this generation like today? It's so weird on there now, like it's so international.
Yeah.
Just used to be all Aussies on that thing, really. That's all I really remember from back in the day. Or a lot more Aussies just kind of dominating.
Yeah, I think it was basically, it was a bit more of a clear thing then.
Totally.
To kind of did the Aussie tour, and then you kind of did the world tour.
Yeah.
And now the guys are kind of like, oh, should I be doing the world tour, or should I just be banking clips and things like that. So back then, we just made it happen.
We
just
did.
Like, we want to go on the world tour. I'm going to go there. I'm going to fly to Reunion. I've got $350 in my bank. Get there and realise that you can't get an accommodation for under 150 because it's French francs, and you have to sleep under a bridge. So I don't see the Groms doing that these days.
No, much less.
But yeah, it's just a bit clearer then. So
I had a funny experience kind of on that level with going back to Hawaii after not being there for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And like actually having decent accommodation. like only one person in the bed.
not 14 in 2 rooms.
Exactly.
With overflowing sewerage
Exactly.
in your kitchen. Yeah, no.
Getting older, it does have its perks.
It definitely does. I mean, the last few years that I kind of went to Hawaii, I was definitely staying in better places just because I guess we're getting a bit more money.
Yeah.
And if I was staying at an average place, I felt that I wasn't going to do as well in the comp. I wasn't having as good time. So I'm like, I'd spend the money, and then if you get knocked out of the comp that you're there for, it's not too bad because you're staying in a sick place with your friends having a good time. Whereas if you're staying in a dingy little place and you're struggling and everyone's stealing your milk and South African putting a line on their milk, make sure no one steals it. So you fill up your breakfast, then you fill it back up with water to the line. Sorry, Brandon Foster. I didn't do it. I just saw heaps of other guys do it.
How long now has it been since you kind of stopped the full-time competition for you? What year did
it
you
sort of be like
stop?
4 or 5 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Like the world tour.
Yeah.
So, and then it kind of took a little slump. So it was kind of almost
Perfect
good
timing,
good
right?
time.
Yeah.
Good timing. It just worked out. But to be honest, we'd had two or 3 kids then. And the travel was starting to strain our family a bit too much and my wife. So we kind of, it was sort of starting to come to an end, I guess.
Sure.
The dream run, so to speak.
So you would have been like 32, 33?
Yeah, 32, 33, yeah.
That's when I got back in.
Yeah, that's when you're back in on tour. Mature age.
Mature
tour.
age.
Tour student.
Mature age tour student.
Yeah.
But we're at Kiama for the Bodyboard King Pro. You've still got it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've still got it?
No, it is like riding a bike, but the bike's just a tiny bit slower than it was.
Yeah, I get it.
Think I still spend a lot of time in the ocean.
Yeah.
And so I think that helps with wave knowledge and all different conditions. So I think I still kind of know what a good wave is. And then, I guess it just comes down to some moves are a tiny bit slower if you're not doing them all the time. Timing as well.
What you got? What's your weak points now?
I don't know, really.
What feels good, what feels... Well, you've popped a couple of decent inverts, so they obviously don't feel too terrible.
I definitely forward airs, like the whole time I've been bodyboarding, forward airs on rights have never really been my thing for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I just couldn't, like I've done
Me too, actually. Me too.
I just felt way easier on left. And so that I felt like if I got a good bowl in this comp, there's no way in the world I'd try a forward air.
No.
Like on a right.
No.
I'd 100% go to something that I was comfortable with.
But would you have done that in your kind of prime anyway? Wouldn't you have gone for something else anyway?
Maybe, but maybe when I was a bit younger, I would have for sure, because I was like, I want to try and be the best.
Yeah.
And you got to have it all to be the best.
Yeah.
But then you start to be on the tour for ages and you start to surf the heats a bit smarter.
Yeah.
And you're like, just surf to your strengths. If I'm not good at a flip on a right, just do an invert.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it. It's not even worth it. If you've banked 2 10s and you get a good bowl,
go
for it.
Yeah.
But I think, when you start to surf, I've been on tour for ages, you start to surf those heats a little bit smarter.
Is that a good thing though? Like, because I mean, as you were saying that, I've had a lot of conversations with people in this, because you've listened to every podcast episode. We clarified that before.
Yeah, heaps.
And he's listened to fuck all of the podcast, but that's all right.
Listened to one.
Hasn't listened to one, but
I will.
He's got a binge. He's got like the best binge ever coming out.
Yeah, perfect. I'm pumped.
This whole thing about competition and what it does to your surfing, because you kind of said that once you get into that comp mode, you play to your strengths, which means you don't do other things, and then maybe even in your free surfing, do you even have time to work on these weaknesses, or does all that kind of go out the window a little bit when you're focusing on world titles?
Yeah, I mean, not so much. The year that I got closest to a world title, I felt that I was surfing heaps. We were living in Europe, in France.
I remember.
I was surfing so much, and I felt like I could kind of do everything. But then in heats, I was surfing them really smart.
Yeah.
Too. And the only time you'd have to kind of step out of your comfort zone and go for something that you weren't that comfortable in doing is when your back was against the wall. So I guess it's, I mean, it is kind of hard in saying it's kind of double-edged sword.
It is,
you
right?
got to go for it.
Yeah.
But I felt like that year that year I might have gone for an air forward.
Yeah, right.
Probably my own year. I felt the fittest and the most comfortable in all conditions.
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like, maybe because I was surfing Hossiger beaches every day, I felt like Pierre is, just every day.
Yeah, right.
Like for that 1 year, I felt like nearly to his level.
Do you really feel like that, was that a really big factor for you, that European stay? Did you really get a lot out of that?
Oh, I loved it. It was like the best thing almost to have done in my life.
That's interesting.
Kind of thing, like just living there, basing ourselves there.
How long were you there for again?
So we were there for about 10 months.
Oh, you were there 10 months in Oscar.
And then we kind of just travelled in and out of there.
Yeah.
And
That's
it was
wild.
Amazing experience.
It's a good spot. I was there earlier this year, just hanging out. Sick.
No, it was good. It's just sort of one of those things where you spur of the moment things, and my sponsor wasn't happy at the time about it.
I remember this.
Yeah.
And I said, they're wrong.
Yeah,
I remember saying to you, I was like, they're wrong. This is awesome. Like, this is
told
great.
me on the way to the airport. I was like, well, fuck you. I'm going. And then I sold more boards that year than any other year.
Exactly.
So I was like, and then he loved me. And it's like, whatever, mate.
Yeah. It's good to be right.
Oh, it was good to, I think, just also live. Like, I love bodyboarding.
Yeah.
But, like, I love other things too.
What did you love about that trip? What was so good about that? Like, that you love to do? What was so good about being in Osagor and all those
just
things?
a total new experience, surfing kind of different ways, and as like a really young family where we could travel a lot more kind of together to other spots like Sintra and things like that.
You didn't need a bus.
We didn't need the bus, and we didn't have to fly. Like from Australia doing the world tour back then, there was like 8 or 10 comps in the year, and it was just it was hard.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that must have been like.
It was hard. It was cheaper for us. No, exact same money for us to spend the air tickets to go live there, and go from France as it would have been myself go from Australia.
And with right. So for the family, you're saying?
Yeah, for the family.
For the whole family to be based in Osagor, 2 kids at the time. You could get everyone there and hang and have a great time. Yeah. Or you could have just done single trips yourself.
From Australia and been away for 3 or 4 months of the year.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Great decision.
Yeah, it was a great decision. Yeah. I mean, it's hard now because my wife would go back tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, she would for a year or something. She loves it, but it's it's hard.
Has she got some French vibes in her?
Her mum's French and her dad's Mauritian.
There you go.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I remembered that.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, her heart's like a croissant.
That's like half, just the shape.
Yeah,
you could think she's got just half a heart.
No.
Oh, that's classic.
No.
I mean, do you think much back to your, like, let's get on that year of like the very close kind of world title, because that's obviously one of your best competitive years, right? Or did it feel like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had some really great wins that year, didn't you?
Yeah. Like I lost the world tour with 2 firsts, 5 thirds, and a 9th.
That's heavy.
Like to Jeff.
What did he do? The other ones. He must have won the other ones.
He won 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not to take it away from Jeff, but after I'd had 4 good events, 2 firsts and 2 thirds, a lot of people stopped choosing all events.
People
I'm not saying that Jeff wouldn't have beaten those guys.
No.
He always beats them. He's amazing. So, but
everyone got a bit more pickier because of their budgets.
Yeah, because of the budgets and stuff. So I think if everyone was still in the race, then there would have been more people. Because I kind of feel that back then, I'm not blaming it and saying I should have won, and I'm not trying to justify it for not winning. But
well, you came fucking close either way, right? It was one heat. It was one.
But
that's it.
At the time, I was really angry too. And I was just like, but then you start to look at other things and go, like at the time I had amazing wife, supportive wife, and
Yeah.
2 amazing kids. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, does it really matter?
Mm.
I'm like, no.
Well,
But it does not really matter. It doesn't really. It wasn't going to do anything. It would have made me a lot more money at the time.
would have. The incentives would have been pretty
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, I think all the incentives up. It was like 17 grand.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Would've
like
been nice.
It was like it would have been nice at the time, but
A little bit of cream.
yeah, and especially in the bodybuilding world,
Yeah, 17
it
grand.
would have been good. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't lose any sleep over it ever.
No.
I was stoked to even get there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but with the anger though, when did the anger come up in that? Because I imagine it might have come up midway through the year, because when people started dropping off, you might have been thinking, "Fuck, everyone's dropping off," and this is getting weird. And
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't creep in. Then only crept in after.
it
kind
was
of thing.
after the end result.
Yeah,
Okay.
because then I was just focused. I was just like, well, those guys aren't coming. You know, if there's
Yeah.
only 10 guys that can win this comp,
Yeah.
and 5 of them aren't coming, I just have to beat those other 4 guys.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. And I was pretty focused then.
Who wasn't coming, by the way? Like, which guys decided to take a breather?
Well, a lot of Aussies. 'Cause
Oh,
they're so
really?
expensive too.
Uh-huh.
It was like, you know, you go to, and especially when those years, you had to go to Canaries, Sintra, Mexico, you know, and at all different times, and a few others. So it's like, and then South America twice. Oh, no, we did that in the same one. Actually, we did that in the same one, the Arica and then the Brazil one, yeah. But, you know, so after those kind of 4 events, when we'd gone there, everyone was kind of like, you know, it's like, it's a lot.
That's interesting.
So,
Same kind of problem today. Not. It's not a problem. It's good. Like, I'm pretty critical of the sport in that I totally get that. Like, you know, when I was sponsored back in the day when we were younger,
Yeah.
and I had some money from Nomad and Human, I was doing okay by today's standards. Like, I was like getting a pretty decent chunk of
For
money
sure.
to do it stuff, but that chunk of money then is actually amazing today.
yeah,
Like, if I was getting that today,
Yeah.
if anyone was getting that, like, it's pretty good. Like, they'd be like, whoa.
for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Like, I'm a bit shocked by it. And then when it comes to the World Tour planning and, like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Because I'm the riders rep and I give Alex and Terry a hard time all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm really kind of trying my best to reduce the need to travel too much for
Yeah.
guys, because I'm just like, man, this is like a pretty big investment for people,
Yeah.
and it's gonna hurt them in the long run
Yeah,
financially.
for sure. I either think like there's kind of 2 options: have 4 events in good locations,
Yeah.
in good waves, and then majority of I think you need to have the best riders in the world at all 4 comps.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, and that is pretty close to affordable for a lot of guys. Like
Yeah.
if they know there's 4 events, they can kind of make that happen.
Yeah.
Or another option needs to be they build the domestic tours. They take your top
Great
8 from
segue.
Australia,
Great
and you
segue.
have a championship at Pipe.
Great. Well, that's my preferred option. That's
Yeah,
mine.
like either could work
Mm.
for sure, but then also comes down to the world champs decide on one contest, which is hectic. But does it need to have we don't? There's just not the money in the sport to do it. So I
Well,
think.
think about it a different way. Like, the Olympics happen every 4 years.
Well,
4 years.
yeah,
Some poor bastard has been throwing a javelin
yeah,
for 4 years.
Yeah.
And they can rock up and just get an elbow injury. Like, they can just fuck it up.
Yeah, that's true.
4 years of prep.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, so 1 a year is pretty good, hey?
1 year is pretty good. Like,
yeah.
and like, you know, other sports like football, rugby
Yeah.
union, like world champion, like they're world championships every 4 years. Like the World
Yeah.
Cup, 4 years. Like, it's pretty crazy.
I think it would definitely build it in the regions too.
Well, this is why I like the segue, not because we agree on the format, but mostly because, like, you remember what it was like when we had a fucking amazing Aussie tour.
Oh,
How good
it
was
was
all those?
so good and
Those
so
times were
hard.
amazing. Yeah, that was
You
hard.
finished 9th and you surfed
Stoked.
4 or 5 heats and you can't believe it. And
I
you get
know.
$100. You get your entry back and you're like, this is amazing. You know, I broke even.
Exactly.
Can't believe it. And everyone's loving it.
Exactly. No, it's heavy. It's
Yeah.
like, and I just remember the great trips. You know, like we had a box comp one year on the tour. You know, we had we used to go to York's Peninsula, and that was like sick to go down there and get all deserty before that became really a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then we had a lot of really good comps. Foster used to be on there, so that was always fun. Everyone came through Foster, and that was always a good time. So, no, I think there's a lot to be said for just like the domestic tours getting stronger and like.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah.
Because
it's affordable then.
We're not where the mature age tourers, you know. So
would you have a crack in that would you feel like you could have a crack at this kind of whole thing again, just for the hell of it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, you know, if they're like, the top 8's going to go into pipe, there's 4 Aussie tour events with kind of little waiting periods, so you're not in really, really bad waves.
Yeah.
And they're like, you had D-Bar and or Kiama or wherever, like wedgie beaches.
Well, that's what's up for grabs, I think.
I think why not? It'd be pretty fun.
I know the fire still burns for Rawlins. Like, he definitely still has a part of him that wants that again. Like, he wants to compete and be competitive with the guys.
I mean, I love competing too.
You still do?
I do. I love the one a year right now. I'm just kind of too busy at home. But as I said before, I like the pressure in competitive, like in bodyboarding, because it's just it's all on yourself.
Yeah.
It's all just... everything's on you. You choose the wrong wave, you're like, that was my fault.
Yeah.
Whereas now I started playing soccer a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I love it. I make a mistake. I'm like, oh, well, I got 10 other guys who can fix that problem for me. It's very, very mental and heady competition.
Yeah, and like you can't help but really beat yourself up as well, like when you're doing bad, like and it's hard on you.
Like you've got priority, and the other guy needs a 6, and you're like, oh, this wave, I don't know, and you let it go, and he gets a 7, and you're like, oh, that was why did I do that?
It's hopeless.
Yeah, it's just it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
But so I enjoy not doing it every month.
Yeah.
That we used to, because it is kind of. It's like becomes stressful, especially when your trip costs you $3,000.
Yeah.
Back then, and if you get third, you get $3,000. Like, so you're only breaking even if you get third. So if you're having shockers on tour,
it hurts.
And I mean, there was guys on there that were funding their tour on the prize money, like Mark McCarthy.
It's heavy.
He was getting I can't remember what it was, like $3,000 off his board sponsor at the time. And
then getting him on tour, and then hopefully he gets
was on the world tour like full time, and it's like, how on earth? That's like one trip.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of stressful because you wanted to make money too. You wanted to try or recoup.
Well, there's also that bit about like, one thing I don't know. Some guys have like a pretty good deal with their sponsors these days, where they have a separation between their travel budget and their salary, so that like their payment for being themselves, which I think is a really positive thing, because
for sure,
you use your travel budget, it's here, it's for flights, hotels, whatever other bullshit you want to buy that has to do with going somewhere. But then you've got this other piece that's like, you're going to get your whatever it might be, your $500 a month or your $1,000 a month if you're kind of doing better.
Yeah,
that's going to go in your bank, and if you got rent to pay and all that, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I think that's a really positive step for some guys. I don't think all guys have that deal now, but
I guess I don't know, when we were then, we weren't thinking about that. We were just traveling.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was just like, whatever money I can get.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go chase the next wave.
But let's talk now about, because I was worrying about it, and that probably helped me. Yeah, it probably helped me fall out.
Yeah.
But like, because I was worried about the future.
Yeah.
When I was like 21.
Yeah.
And it's kind of silly. It's early to be worried about the future.
But, yeah. Each their own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And plus the Maui thing when I missed the heat, that was my real fucking painful moment that broke me basically. But I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right now.
You want tissue?
No.
But
I got through it. Well, that's why I'm back. I got through it and I'm back.
Yeah.
But I do remember, and I was saying to you before we started this recording, like how, you had a pretty good travel arrangement, right? This whole the getting on planes for not the full price.
Yeah.
That helped, right?
Oh, it was the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because I could go to, say, let's say Hawaii for like probably, I can't even remember now. It was that long ago, but it was cheap. It was like $150
That's
return.
hectic.
Like, It was hectic.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
nuts.
international flights like to Europe for like
Yeah.
300 return business and things like that.
Oh, in business as well, right?
Yeah,
Because they would.
Well, at the start, I didn't fly business because I didn't have the money. I was just
Okay.
scraping. But as soon as I started getting a bit of sponsorship money, I was like, "Here we go, we're on, boys." And then I remember Sam Bennett. One year we went to Chile and we got off the plane. He's like, "How's your?" It's pretty rude of me to say this. I wouldn't say this now, but he was like, "How was the flight?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was good. I just laid like horizontal the whole time on my stomach, like on the bed. I just slept." And he's just like, "Are you kidding?" And I was like, "Nah." And so, yeah, it was just it helped a lot.
Of course, it would have
and
helped.
I could do any. I guess I can't even remember how much my first paid contract was. I think it was Custom X with like for $2,000 or something.
Yeah.
And then I got Hydro for $3,000.
Whoa.
So I was on 5, and these flights are cheap. Like, so I'm going everywhere. I'm flying everywhere I can.
Well, I think that kind of helped with that time too, because that was when the tension days began.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys, because there was a crew that kind of formed around you, Whitey, Hughesy, Chad, Rawlins. There was a crew that started to really form around that.
Yeah.
And I saw that, like, shit, he's doing so many trips now.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I knew what was going on. I was like, fuck him, this is fucked. Like,
Yeah.
and but it's good for you. Like, I'm definitely
Yeah.
happy for you that you had that. But it was interesting to notice it, and I was like, yeah, that's helping.
Yeah.
That's helping.
No,
Like, that's a
it was
good thing.
It was a big help.
Yeah.
And that whole WA thing helped a lot. We sort of...
When you lived over there.
Yeah, went there.
That's right.
And then kind of became friends with those guys and didn't come home.
You didn't,
For
did
a
you?
few, no, not for a few years.
Yeah.
I was just surfing and working on the vineyards, and then we'd get enough money and we'd do like go to Indo or come back and then work a little bit and use the money. And yeah, it just felt like I could do the whole Aussie tour, a few trips a year, Hawaii, everything on the budget that I had, and with a little bit of work. And yeah, it just kind of skyrocketed from there, I guess, for a few years.
Well, it helped as well that tension skyrocketed too, right? I mean, that was a huge probably factor as well in the...
Yeah, I'd probably say like that's the biggest factor in bodyboarding.
Oh, right.
I reckon
That's a call.
almost. Like,
it's going to be a good little soundbite for the Instagram.
Yeah,
feed.
like, I mean, you kind of think it has to be. Like, the premieres would draw so many people. Watched it that don't bodyboard.
True.
I even had a parent at the kids' school say to me, "I watched you on the Tension movie," and I was like, "Oh, did you?" And she said, "Yeah, I saw you wearing the G-string, the red G-string." I was like, "Yeah, cool. See you later." So it's kind of, I don't know. I just think it had
Parent-teacher evenings get a little different when you've been on tension for a few years.
I think it just had a huge reach then, and it just a lot of people got into it. I'm not saying it's like the pinnacle of it, but I think media-wise...
Well, in Australia, certainly.
Media-wise in Australia, it was huge.
Yeah, and also, I guess, well, I know this because I think I had a cousin who didn't know much about bodyboarding, and they're like, "Oh, is that Winnie?" And I'm like, "What? Like, what do you mean Winnie and White?" Like, rattling off all these names, and I'm like, how do you know who these people are? And then she's like, "Oh, the tension films." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Right, it's full on.
So yeah, definitely put bodyboarding on the map, and he was doing some funny stuff.
He was, yeah. So, no, it was good stuff.
Yeah, and everyone was having a good time, and he's making heaps of money, which is good.
I think, good on him. Shout out to Chris White. I think my claim to fame with tension was just getting completely blind in Portugal in Sintra one year, and all you guys were staying at, I think it's called the Hotel Ariba, on the water there.
Yep.
And I got lost, so I didn't know where I was staying, and so I was like, well, I know where the Hotel Ariba is. So I ended up going there, and I remember like completely maggot. I go down to the comp site, and I end up having like a steak sandwich with the security guards in front of like a bin fire. Those like homeless people have it. That was my night, and then I was like, fuck, I've got to get into the hotel somehow. And I got in, and I knocked on Virtue and Rawlins their door, and they're like, it was like 3:30, 4 a.m, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to sleep. And then I crash out on the floor, and then I end up managing, I think Rawlins got up for a surf, I managed to get into his bed and just like sleep a while, and then I snore pretty badly. And Virtue was off me and this is my one claim to fame in tension. I think it's like tension 9 or something like that. And Virtue just like sprays talcum powder into my fucking full facial of talcum powder while I'm snoring away. And that's my one.
Yeah,
that's
you
me.
claimed it,
Thanks,
mate.
Smitey. I got into tension.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, great.
To be honest, there was times where you're like, I don't want to go to sleep. You're like,
You know something's
if
coming.
someone's, you want to be the last one awake every night, and it just doesn't happen.
Nah,
yeah,
that's heavy.
everyone was a target. No one
Everyone's
was
a target.
safe.
Exactly. I definitely didn't
Yeah.
feel singled out.
Yeah, no, it was good fun.
I'm gonna get us 2 more beers.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh no, I think Ben got knocked. I think Tristan, especially when he was wearing that shirt.
I'm still recording.
Yeah.
I can edit that out, but that's pretty funny. Oh, dude. Did he
I'm
definitely?
gonna
You gonna
check the app now.
Okay. Stacked app. Download it if you haven't. But so, do you like the... Cheers.
Cheers.
Like, is that competitive? Like, you're saying you're playing like soccer at home now, and that gives you probably a bit of the... I remember you were pretty mad at
Oh
soccer.
no, he got through.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a big deal for Tristan.
Yeah, no, he got through.
Did he
I
really?
got a text from Jenna just saying Ben's gonna need 1 or 2.
Oh, to celebrate maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he got him.
Oh, that's a tight heat. Holy
Tanner,
shit,
Edo.
Eda Luciano.
Edo beat
What the
Tanner.
That's an upset.
Smoked.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Eda's going to be having an acai party, just celebrating that.
Yeah, that's pretty huge, eh?
It's a huge deal. You're playing the team sport stuff today.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like that whole focus that you need to have to be like an individual competitive bodyboarder, is that something, is it a good, like, do you like not being, do you have to be super selfish
In
to
soccer?
achieve it? No,
Oh,
like
to
with the
bodyboard-
bodyboarding, like,
Oh, in a way, maybe yes.
Yeah.
A bit. Not to like a crazy extent, but
let me rephrase the question. Are you better as an individual since not only being selfish about that sport anymore?
yeah, I think I am personally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just kind of, yeah, I do.
You know what I mean?
kinda-
You've got to sacrifice a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I like where I'm at now. With, you know, especially with kids, it put a lot of pressure on
Yeah.
us with me travelling a lot. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, no, I do. I mean, it's still competitive as ever, even
Yeah.
in soccer.
Yeah.
But I know that at the end it's just a game, and if you're
Yeah.
not, if you're not having fun, then it's not really worth doing it.
Your team's the Valleys.
The Valleys, Mullenbrun's Valleys. Pretty average name, hey.
That's a
Valleys.
really average name, yeah. You need it.
I know, we should get called the Cockatoos or something.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
With those tension days, because we should linger on that, because that's a pretty class. Like, you were in the center of it all. What was there a time during that where you were just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know, was it?
That was most days. No. No, we were just kind of doing it. We were just surfing lots, and then the occasional partying and pranks when the waves weren't bad, and
Yeah.
things like that. So we're kind of just doing it, and then I guess we didn't really realise how big it was kind of getting until you rocked up at the premieres,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, there's like 1,000 people here, and another few hundred trying to get in.
That's
That
heavy.
is sold out. Like, we were kind of like, well, this is kind of getting bigger
Yeah.
every year. But we're just mostly, yeah, just doing our thing. I mean, I still was just wanted to surf and
Yeah.
do the comps and get free surfing clips and stuff like that. So I was
Yeah.
pretty still kind of focused on doing that.
Yeah.
But
You-
it was
yeah.
a wild time. It was good fun.
Uh,
But can't sustain that forever, can you?
nah. No, you can't.
No.
Like, there becomes a point where it gets maybe,
Yeah.
you could say, pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like to
Yeah.
be the...
You
Like,
can't
you
be a
can't
third-
prank in you, like, too much, right?
You can't
Or
be
not.
a 35-year-old doing drop rolls.
No.
Unless you're filming for pension. Pension 11.
Pension 11.
So...
Is that
what's
what the revamped pension's going to be? Pension.
I don't know.
I mean, is it... And obviously all your sponsors were stoked. It was part of the... Like,
Yeah,
it was definitely part
growing.
of what was going for you, right? Like, to sustain that.
For sure. So then they were all stoked because you're getting waves in videos
Yep.
at the time, and if you're doing the comps and getting good results there, it's just all looking good. You got better contracts.
I know that you obviously had, like, what your best year on tour was, like, finishing second in that year.
Yeah.
But, like, other years, were you always in the top 10 for you? Because I didn't follow everything back then.
Yeah.
Like, were you sustaining up
I
at
think
that height?
I think I finished second twice.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think another year I kind of just had a good result right at the end, but
Oh, okay.
I wasn't in contention.
Uh-huh.
I think I had a few fourths and a few fifths, and
Okay, so you always kind of...
top 10 usually.
When
towards
you
the
were
back
younger,
end.
I'm trying to remember, but when we were younger, I remember because you were 2 years above me, so you were in the juniors when I was cadets, and we never actually got to surf against each other until we were all competing up in opens and stuff on the tour.
But because I started late too.
You did, didn't
competing.
you?
I started when I was like 17.
That's unbelievable.
I
started bodyboarding at 17?
No, I didn't start bodyboarding. I started competing.
Okay, yeah.
I started when I was about 14.
That's still...
And then did a couple of regionals. Just got in the... Maybe I was 16, just got in the juniors.
Yeah.
A couple of the juniors.
Wow.
And then that was kind of it, yeah.
Why did you start so late?
I don't know, just... I didn't ever think it was a thing. I was just playing soccer at the time.
Yeah, right.
And then I was kind of pushing that pretty hard, and then I started bodyboarding.
I can imagine you
doing
being
that.
in some representative teams and whatnot, probably.
Yeah, I was in reps and stuff like that then. And then pushing that and bodyboarding heaps at the time. And then the coach was just a fuckwit.
Oh.
And that was when you could play club and reps.
Yeah.
And then he just benched me in the reps or played me as left back, and I was a striker.
Yeah, you're a striker, I remember
And then
that.
I just was like, I was just over it. And then he played me as striker like second last game, and it scored heaps of goals in that game, and we won. And then the last game, he was like, we need to win to finish fourth, and we won, and I scored the only goal. And then he was like, after the season kind of panned out, he was like, gave me a thing, like a proposal to come and play full-time reps
Yeah, right.
for the thing. And I was like, you know what, like, I'm not into you. Like, you love me now because I won 2 games, like helped win 2 games. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna go surf. And he kind of turned me off it, and I just went and surfed. And then so I was just surfing lots. And then that was when PBC was going, Peninsula Bodyboard Cup, and they hated us because we were from Curly and we started winning it all.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been so liked on the
No,
Peninsula.
we weren't. There was me and a few other mates, and we all started winning all the divisions. And like, even to the point where you walk down the track, they'd spit at your feet.
Get out.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
And then that wasn't like Pete Moore or those guys. Those guys were always cool. Like
He's
Pete
always
and
cool.
Tate, those
Yeah.
guys. It was kind of the younger guys, but and Jarvis and that. But they didn't like us. None of them, I don't think, liked us.
Well, because you were from
At the start, yeah, from 3 beaches away. And
What's the vibe though with that? Because that's pretty clear. You're like 3 beaches away, but like, what is the difference?
No, well, that's what we thought. I think they're just more annoyed because it was their club. They were all from Mona mostly.
Yeah.
And then we started
Rocking up.
beating them. And they
Yeah.
were like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Like, and so it kind of started late, and then just
Yeah.
went from there.
But that's interesting about, like, I mean, because you're, like, I do remember when we, back on my first time on tour with you, like, we were playing some pretty mad games of football every time we were on tour. Like, I remember a classic match we had in Sintra with, like, an amazing one on a synthetic pitch, and we all thought it was amazing because, like, wow, they got synthetic pitches.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
yeah, it doesn't bounce everywhere.
Exactly. And, like, I remember some really good games, and but, like, you got some game. Like, were you? Do you ever look back on that moment where, because it's interesting that one fuckwit coach can make a pretty big decision, not because you hated playing soccer.
Soccer, loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
But you're like, you know what? You're a fuckwit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go
I'm gonna
bodyboarding.
leave, yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, it's a pretty big life decision now.
It is kind of. Yeah.
Like what you're going to do. But, I mean, I just think that I was really into bodyboarding as well at the time.
You reckon
So
you would have
I
made
was
the decision
starting it.
anyway?
Yeah, it might have happened anyway. It just gave me a really good option to do it.
Okay, so he gave you like an easier way out.
I guess an easier way out, yeah. It felt
Yeah.
pretty easy to just, I just wanted to surf. I was loving it.
Yeah, sure.
So, you know.
So you would have got
enjoying it.
there anyway. It
Yeah, it
wasn't
could have
that...
ended up there. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it for the world.
No.
Right.
Hey.
How you going?
Yeah?
He got through,
He got
though.
through though?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just. Two
Yeah.
waves, that was it.
Oh, you only caught 2 waves?
Only caught 2 waves.
Okay,
Because
well,
I
that's-
looked at
that's
the,
This one had about 12.
Oh.
I looked at the score and I was like, oh no, you might need 1 or 2. I'm like, oh no.
He got it in the last, like, 2 minutes or something. The last
Sick.
wave.
That's why he's got bloody world titles.
Oh,
He sat out there for about 20 minutes without a wave.
really?
Amazing.
It was like just flat.
Really?
It's getting a little...
Oh,
That's
so
some
good.
experience, right?
Good on him.
That's some experience.
How good's this place?
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
Amazing.
So then the kind of the football thing, it's not like a regret for where you're at today. Like, you don't look back on it and go, what
No.
if? You just go, hey, I'm playing for the Valleys now. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I know. Who cares, eh? No, it's just good fun.
Yeah.
I really love the fitness part of it too.
Yeah, it's different.
I just
hey?
love trying to run the whole time
That's
and
heavy.
just don't spew, and then just it's good fun. Injuries are hectic though.
Yeah. Have you had
Um,
anything bad since you got into
I
it?
just pulled my hammy one year and
Ooh.
my ankle's pretty bad right now.
Okay.
But people are like, you got to stop playing soccer. It's so hectic for your body. And I was like, well, maybe have you stopped driving? Lately, there's heaps of car crashes, And that's what it was like on tour. Whenever I tried to get a tennis match going or a soccer match going, I was like,
You were always into it, weren't you?
I live in that moment, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're here to bodyboard for the comp,
Yeah.
but if you roll your ankle and you can't commit, it's not the end of the world. It's not the one focus of
No.
the whole life. I'm kind of just more about that, enjoying the moment.
Yeah, and I just
More so?
well, I remember also from the tour when we were on it together when you were happy to have a quiet 10 or 12 beers as well after the event. Like you weren't going to be all weird about it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it was like, let's go and have some fun.
Yeah, I know.
And it wasn't like a big deal.
No,
Even maybe
nothing.
before the event, there'd be a couple of beers.
Sometimes
like,
it
whatever.
happens. Just, you got it. Whatever. If it tastes good, hey,
Totally.
just send it down. Nah. And now I just struggle.
I struggle.
It's the worst. Like,
Yeah.
since we've had the kids, it's definitely drink way less.
That's probably a good thing
And,
for a parent.
Well, you have to. Hungover with your kids is
Yeah.
like the worst thing you can do in your life.
I'm sure 5 of them must be even worse.
Yeah, it would be. But I don't do it because I know.
Yeah. You're
Because
onto
no.
it.
Yeah, because it's not really worth it. And also, you kind of, I don't know, because with 5 kids, you're under the pump so much.
Yeah, what's that like?
All the time. It's hardcore. Like, you
Yeah.
have to really want it. Like, you can't kind of go, yeah, I'll
Do
just
you have a
few more.
choice anymore?
No, I loved it. We were both keen for more and more.
Yeah.
And we just kept going.
Ah.
And now we're both done. And I absolutely am so happy that we're at a point
Yeah.
where we're both like, we are done.
Yeah.
So we so those, I kind of look, if you're hungover for a day and you got your kids, and it's just a waste of that day
Yeah.
too, because you don't get much time to yourself.
No.
It's probably the most time to myself I've had all year.
That's with me.
Yeah, which is fine.
It's not exactly with yourself.
But no, it's good.
Yeah.
We do love it.
You've copped some flack though, right? We were talking about this. Like, there's some haters out there about your propensity for procreation.
Yeah.
Like, what's some of the worst things you've heard from people? Like,
Oh, you just don't even really try and look at it, because
Yeah.
it's just like, if it's not coming from someone who you care about or a friend or someone, then it's generally just a troll who doesn't enjoy their life. And
it doesn't affect you. It washes off you.
Oh, you got it. I mean, you work at it.
Yeah.
It's not as easy. Like, it's not, if you read something about yourself and you're like, oh, well, that's not really true, or even if it is, and it's kind of not a positive thing, you're kind of like, oh, well, that kind of does suck.
It's horrible, I reckon.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but I mean, we're just, if I feel that if you're bringing up 5 kids that are conscious about the environment, conscious about other people, and respectful to other people, then I think they're going to be better than bringing up 2 kids who just don't give a shit about anything or anyone. So, we try and bring up the kids, the less packaging and things like that you bring home.
Yeah.
Is a big thing. So you kind of ingrain this in kids, compost all your food or give it to the chickens so that they kind of can get good foundations to keep the earth going.
And that's a big consideration for you and your wife?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You want, I mean, it's up to you what you do. You can litter all day, every day if you want.
Yeah.
And not care about it. But if you want to go to a beach and you want it to be no rubbish on the beach and nice,
sort it out, don't litter.
Do the girls ever cop any of it? Like from other kids? Like, wow, you got like 4 sisters? My mummy said that's like really bad.
We live in the breeding capital of Australia. So never.
Why, there are lots of big families in Mullen.
Yeah, there's heaps. Yeah, well,
really?
The whole Byron Shire, yeah, heaps.
Like 17 kids?
Nah, not that big. No, but I guess people choose to move out of the city.
Yeah.
Like we did, we were living in a unit with 2 kids and we're like, we couldn't afford a house. And so we're like, if we sell here and we go buy there, we can afford a house. So,
yeah, sweet.
Why not have a backyard for them?
Yeah.
As opposed to not. And we didn't have to with work at the time.
Yeah.
Because bodyboarding was going good.
Yeah.
So we moved.
That's rad. That's rad.
No, it was good fun. But the best thing about it is I love surfing with them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
love the water.
you do put a few clips out and stuff of you and the girls. Like, is that a really good thing? Like, you really enjoy it.
Being able to go for earlies with the older ones before school.
That's
is
amazing.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
And to do something and the kids see both their parents doing it.
Yeah.
Because Amy loves it too.
Yeah.
And I just think it's good.
It's mad. Yeah.
To be honest, like girls growing up in Byron surfing the soft waves like the pass and stuff, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we shut the ballet down.
Oh, ballet's out.
Ballet was out a few years
ago.
Okay,
Right.
It was just too much commitment for me, and it was too expensive.
Yeah, it must be.
And then that was just one for Coco. So we asked Coco if it was all right if she can do one class, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then I said we're just going to stop it, and we're just going to all surf. If we get one in during the week or the weekends, we just all surf.
Yeah.
And if you don't have to surf, but we're going to the beach.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to.
Yeah.
It would be more fun if you did. But that's what I was thinking. I didn't say it. And then I put her to bed that night and she drew on a poster and stuck it above her bed head, Born to Dance.
Oh,
I was like, ripped my heart out.
Look
It
out.
on the ground. But no, I stayed strong. I couldn't afford it. But no, I really love it.
Okay.
It's good fun. And I think surfing has given me a lot. It's like sitting out in the ocean, if you had a bad day, or just going for a swim.
100%.
It just like rinses you.
Literally, figuratively, metaphorically.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. Like in my life, I know that any tough time I've ever had mentally, or like relationship wise or emotionally, like just having that opportunity to get belted in the waves, like literally get your head smashed in, rinsed, is like a huge
it's so good.
plus. Like
for sure.
You can't like people, and like as you know, I live in Sweden a lot, or the last 5 years I've lived there, and like you don't get that. Yeah. And so when you're having any struggle with whatever's on in life, you don't have that. Well, you don't have it. Like I mean, you can go and do a sauna. Yeah, you have to figure out like another outlet. Exactly. That isn't going to be probably as good as Never will be. Never will be. Never will be. Like it's just the way it is, because you get so much joy as well in that moment. I know. Like you can't be upset in a barrel. Definitely. Like, if you got a problem in your life, you're getting tubed. Yeah, you got big problems. You got serious problems. Go to a doctor. But if you're in a tube and
Yeah.
you got something else in your head saying
Yeah.
this isn't great,
I know.
you've got a serious
Even just
problems.
sitting out there sometimes,
Yeah, for sure.
and the kids aren't yelling at you. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that one.
Yeah. But it's a lot sometimes.
So it's like a chorus of voices,
Yeah, I'm not
right?
gonna lie, it's a lot. But
It's an
even
a cappella
when
group.
You're just sitting out there. It's just like this is really nice.
Yeah.
I don't even need to catch a wave right now. I just sit and listen to nothing
To
else.
nothing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
You must do you really value the time you get, like these, you're saying like getting some free time is like a rarity for you, and plus like you and Ben are also doing like your work now as well, right?
Yeah.
So you're now, what is it exactly that you guys are doing, because I don't actually know
So
exactly what you're doing.
Well, we basically about 3 or 4 years ago started the distribution took over the distribution for VS and NMD boards
Yeah.
in Australia,
Right.
and since then we've started a foamy softboard brand and knife fins, flippers.
What's the foam? Is it called Foamy?
It's called Foamy.
Oh, okay, I thought you were
Yeah.
just saying a foamy one.
Nah.
Okay, Foamy is the
Yeah,
brand.
it's just called Foamy.
Okay,
yeah.
sick.
And so basically we distribute to bodyboard shops and surf shops.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, and we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because we've ridden them
You have
forever.
forever.
But we hadn't done business. Well, Ben had done a bit of business before with Movement,
Yeah.
and we'd done a little bit with Grand Flavour,
Yeah.
but not to this extent. So, like 3rd or 4th year in, we've learned a lot. We're still learning, and yeah, no, it's good fun though.
What's the one thing you've learnt in the last 3 or 4 years that you were like, kind of like tripping on? There must be a few moments in this journey where you're just like, wow.
Yeah, I
Wild.
think it comes down to also learning how, in our prime, how many bodyboards were selling.
Ah,
Like,
what
so like...
is that something you can divulge?
Well, I don't really know the exact number, but going into surf shops and trying to sell my board, our range,
Yeah.
and mine and Ben's board,
Yeah.
and them saying, oh yeah, I used to sell heaps of
That's the worst
like
thing
heaps.
you could hear.
And I'm like, really? I was like, I wouldn't have even known you put a bodyboard in your shop.
Yeah, right.
Because I wouldn't have even known. I would have only known the core stores.
Yeah, right.
So it was actually pretty cool to go then and actually meet all these people who I guess had been supporting my career as such.
Without you having any idea of them.
Without us having any idea.
Okay, so that's cool.
So it was pretty cool. They're like, really? And they're like, now you guys doing that? Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so back then you probably would have only known of like 10 shops in Australia.
Yeah.
And then you go around and you're like, wow, you were buying them too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's pretty cool to go and actually meet the owners face to face who have been there for a
Cool.
long time.
Yeah.
And then now actually form sort of like relationships with them.
Yeah.
And it's super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That felt nice.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because it's just something that you didn't know what was going on. And like when you were having the 10 or 12 beers in Portugal.com, you weren't thinking
Yeah,
that
you
those
weren't
guys
thinking
had...
about that.
You weren't ever thinking about that. So it was pretty cool to see how far it spread
Yeah.
the actual bodyboarding thing was having.
Yeah. That's funny.
So-
That story just reminds me of a funny one for me when it comes to board sales. Like, this buddy of mine was the rep for Vans shoes in New South Wales for a few years, and he used to do the rounds to the shops. And
Yeah.
he went into a shop, I think it might have been down the south coast here or something like that, and he saw like my Nomad board there,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, I lived with him in Newcastle,
Yeah.
and he's like, you got those Kirkman boards. Yeah, Josh is good. I live with him like in Newey, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, cool. It's a really poor seller. It's his favourite joke to tell
Really? That's a good
everyone.
joke.
He goes, oh, you got the Kirkwood.
I thought you were
Oh,
going to
sorry.
say. I thought you were going to say he sold 20. He got ripped off out of that shop. You saw the list, and he only sold 2.
No.
Oh,
He's like,
far out.
it's a really poor seller.
Oh yeah, that's rough, isn't it?
I had to compete with all you guys.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, impossible. Impossible.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He loves it.
Yeah,
He loves it.
That is a good.
It's
one.
his best joke.
Yeah.
One of his only though. Fuck him. Galvo. That's for him. You won't even see it. No, but it's but that must be that sounds like a nice little I don't know, I guess like do you see yourself now as you don't see yourself as retired from bodyboarding,
No.
I doubt.
I've never felt that I need to say that I've retired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't really a thing that was like, I'm going to need to retire. It's just bodyboarding.
Yeah.
It was getting paid to do it for a while.
Yeah.
And now sell them and still in loving doing it when the waves are good.
Yeah, well, I mean, and also there's that other factor of like, Hub's 43.
Yeah, he's pretty old, eh?
He's pretty old, and he's like, still does some, like,
Yeah, he's
exactly the
mental.
same wacky shit he was doing
Yeah, I know.
10 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No,
Like, it's pretty
incredible.
wild.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
Like, do you think there's there clearly isn't really a shelf life on this? On your abilities?
No, I don't think so. Not
No.
if you stay fit. Like, look at Mike, he's still super fit. And
Yeah.
if it was really barreling,
Yeah.
like the waves in the heat,
He'd be
you'd
dangerous
yeah,
as
you'd be
fuck.
worried.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you'd be
wouldn't
like,
like. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So I don't think so. But yeah, just you kind of do it whatever makes you happy. If you're over competing, then don't do it.
Mm.
If
Yeah.
you don't want to bodyboard, don't do it.
Usually I ask people before I do an interview like this, because you're a pretty fucking sought after guy to hear from, so usually there would have been a lot of questions for you, and I reckon one of them might have been, I didn't get a chance to do this, but I reckon one of them might have been, and this is maybe one to wrap up on
Yeah.
to finish this, and we'll have those 10 or 12 beers. You're still in the comp though, aren't you?
Yeah. That's alright.
Whatever.
I actually caught up with a mate on Friday night.
Yeah.
We had 8 pints.
Pints.
Yeah.
But what do they call it pints in New South Wales
It was
now?
a big one.
Really?
The big ones,
They
yeah.
sell those?
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
weird.
4 pints in Manly.
Yeah, right.
It was with Wezza, mate, a schoolmate. And I was struggling,
Yeah,
hey?
yeah, yeah.
Well, I was
How many did you have? 8?
8.
Yeah, I'd be maggot.
Yeah, I was struggling. We looked at the time, and that was the latest I've been out this year. It was 1
What
o'clock.
time was it? 1. Wow.
The latest I've been out. And then...
Fatherhood.
Then had to drive down to the comp next
Yeah,
morning.
when you fucking heat.
Yeah, and a bit dusty, but...
Look out.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we'll keep drinking. But
Yeah.
one of the questions I reckon would have popped up was, what's the craziest story you can share from the tension days that kind of remains in your mind as something that's like, that was either like hilarious or that was like, wow, we got away with that. I can't believe it. Is there anything that comes to your mind?
To be honest, it's like people, you just wouldn't want to hear this, but it's a bit of a blur. Like I've got a pretty bad memory.
Oh, it's a bad memory?
No, like I've got a bad memory.
Oh, you've got a bad memory.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it's like it is a bit of a blur. I've got to try and think of something good. There's just so many times. Whitey's just one of those people that is just, I don't know, he's so positive on life and just makes things happen.
Yeah.
And he's just like, that's like being friends with, you just wanted to be friends with someone like that.
Yeah,
He just
yeah,
was like, he was just, his
He's
energy,
attractive.
He is so
Yeah,
attractive,
yeah.
and he's like, you just want to be around him.
Totally.
Like,
100%.
It's just like,
Yeah.
that was like the biggest thing I got from him.
Yeah, right.
From it all. Like he's just amazing person.
Mm.
And but gosh, it was just
Good genes too.
Yeah, good genes.
Fucking
But-
40? You kidding?
Yeah, he's 40. Yeah,
He could be 20.
yeah, for sure.
Fucking hell.
But no, there's a lot of times. The tomato festival was actually a pretty
Oh, in
fun
Valencia.
time. That was.
I remember when you
pretty
guys went
sick
across. I didn't
time.
come. I was spewing. I should have done that.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick time. So we left Sintra.
Mm.
I think we flew up to Madrid.
Mm.
We're trying to get accommodation. We had a few days in between there and going to New Jersey for Bits's comp.
That's right. Yeah, the Jenks one. Yeah.
Jenks Pro at the time.
Mm.
And we were like, what do we do? We're kind of done with...
What did I
We've had a good time in Portugal.
Yeah.
But what do we do? So we're like, there's this tomato festival. Fly up to Madrid. Try and get a camper van. All camper vans booked out.
Yeah.
Try and get accommodation.
Middle
near
of summer in
Bernal.
Europe.
Yeah. It's like, we're idiots, aren't we? They're just like... So then, we're like, let's hire a truck. This would be a good idea. We'll buy air matties.
Yeah.
We'll sleep with the doors open. So we hire this truck. There's 5 of us.
What kind of truck are we talking?
Like just like a removalist truck, you know, like those little kind of removalist ones.
Yeah,
You
like
drive
a
on.
Pantech, I think they may
Pantech.
even refer
Yeah,
to
they
them
call
as.
Pantech. Yeah,
That's
so one
a
of those.
removalist,
So perfect. So we're like 2 in the back
Yeah.
and then 3 in the front.
Yeah.
3 seats in the front. So the 2 in the back.
Who's in the car?
I can't remember exactly.
must have been,
There was
I
me,
think-
Whitey,
Virtue?
Yeah, I think Virtue.
Mitch, maybe?
Mitch. Maybe Shuji or Chuck.
Yeah.
I can't really remember, but
Okay.
so 2 in the back, but we'd take shifts, so we'd only do hours in the
Yeah.
back because it's just dark and no air.
No air, yeah.
So you just lay down on the air matties. We strapped all our board bags to the walls, and we hopped in this truck. I just remember being in the back, and we're just driving down to Benol.
People
Yeah, but
smuggling, essentially.
Pretty much,
Like-
yeah. And then we're just driving. We've been in the back of the truck for a bit, and then we're just driving, bouncing, and then we just come to a stop, and I was like, oh, what's this? Yeah, we're sitting there, and I hear a few voices, and I was like, okay, we must be lost trying to get directions. The next thing, the doors just open up, and you're like blinded by the lights. Far out, what is this? And then the cops are there. And we're like, oh, okay.
That's heavy.
And then he's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, we're trying to go to the Tomato Festival. Whitey's driven up the one-way street, and he's stuck.
That's
And,
heavy.
yeah. And anyway, so we reversed out of there. We're like, no, we won't get in. We just walk around here. We walk up the road
Yeah.
and then get picked up. We keep going on our way.
Yeah.
And we get to the Tomato Festival, which was hectic, like so rough but amazing, fun.
Yeah.
And then we just sleep in the truck. And then we go back, drop the truck off, fly. Then we hear that we couldn't get flights to Jenks Pro in
right.
time. We tried to get them booked and they couldn't do it. And
Yeah.
then we had to miss the first day of the waiting period. It just showed, it
Okay.
just happened that
Yeah.
Jenks was like 3 foot and pumping the first day. So it ran. So we hadn't left Europe yet.
You guys weren't there.
So we didn't go there.
That's hilarious. Then
We
we all
went-
went to Mexico after, right?
Yeah, so we went to France. We
Yeah.
came there later, but we went to France.
Yeah,
And we're like,
yeah.
let's just go to France for a bit. So we went to France. Anyways, we get there and we had another big night. And someone was, I can't remember who it was. It was like, if you kick the lamppost, the light goes out because like a car hits it. So you kick it and it just goes out. It might come back on anyway.
It might come back on.
I almost remember kicking it and it's going out there. I was, how good is this? You go to the next one and you just look across the road and they're all going out, whereas there's 5 idiots doing it. Anyway, and we're just trying to get back to Marina because we're sleeping on some guy's boat. At the time, some tension guy's boat. Tension groupie.
Tension groupie.
Anyway, we're kicking all these poles out, and then the next thing, I just get hit so hard from the side, crash tackle to the ground. I'm like, what is going on? And this chick cop has just like lined me up, seen me kicking the thing, it's just taking me to the deck, and then she's just like cuffed me, like holding me by arms behind my back, gets me up, and I'm just like, what is going on? And then they grab the other guys who are all there, and then they just like check Interpol. And they're like, you guys got pulled over in Spain. And I was like, what? That was like 2 days ago. Like, and they're like, you guys are causing trouble. Like, and we're like, no, we're not. And then anyway, they get this call through. And they're like, I had to go to something like serious. And they just bailed. They gave our passports back.
Cuffs off though? You got the
Yeah,
cuffs
yeah,
off before
it
they
was like-
bailed?
I don't know if they cuffed me, but she was like, and all the guys laughing. They're just like, she smashed you. And I was like, she absolutely smashed me. Like, but it was some good times.
That's a good one to finish on.
Yeah.
You finished that?
Uh,
Alright, cheers.
Cheers, thanks, Joshy.
Thanks, Winnie. It's a pleasure.
No worries.
I reckon
always.
everyone's going to love that one.
Thanks, guys.